Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? As usual, I'm your host, Richie T, also known as Richard T, whichever you prefer, coming at you live with something a little different today. Once again, we're back on Arena. I'm getting ready for the Invitational and also a couple MCQs coming up, so I figured why not play some Standard with you guys. Let's see how it goes. So, as you guys have probably seen, today is also our giveaway, which I will be doing at the end of the stream. Don't want to do the giveaway before everyone's here and before all the excitement's done and over with me playing. So let's go ahead and go over the deck that I'm going to be piloting today. This is Bant Ramp. I found this list with Gavin while we were on our way home from SCG Louisville this past weekend, and we're both really interested in it. I believe it was piloted by Martin Yuza in the MCQ on Magic Arena. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was an Arena deck list from the MCQ that made the second portion of the MCQ. We've changed a couple cards around, however, so we're going to go over it. We have our 4 Llanowar Elves as our best turn 1 ramp. Then we have Incubation Druid and Paradise Druid as essentially more copies of Llanowar Elf on turn 2. We're going to go ahead and move Hydroid Krasis over to here for right now. Then on the 3 drops, we have 4 Steel Leaf Champion, which is good in a ramp deck, but kind of odd in this style of deck, because it doesn't go above and beyond, but it's a threat that they have to deal with early that will basically distract them from our plan of ramping and just going over the top. On top of that, we have 4 Teferi Time Reveler, which is here for like the Nexus and Control matchups. It's a super hard card for them to beat if we get to untap with it, and it's just super powerful in general. We have 4 Frilled Mystic because with this deck we are able to get ahead on board pretty easily, and that's where Frilled Mystic really shines, is when you're ahead on board. So going like turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion into turn 3 holding up Frilled Mystic is very powerful, and potentially something that a lot of decks can't deal with. On top of that, we have 2 Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves. This is more of a hedge for the mono red matchup. It's 2 bodies for 1. They're both decent stats, but it also gains you 3 life and can fight a creature, which is really relevant against the red decks. 3 Nissa, Who Shakes the World, which is probably one of the best ramp cards in Standard right now, as if your deck is primarily forests, which as you see ours are, we have 13 forests in this deck. She doubles the mana for forests, but on top of that, she turns our extra lands into 3/3s that we can start attacking with, as well as is technically plus 1 to 2 mana depending on the land you plus on, and then her ultimate just thins our deck so much that it'll be hard to lose. So you're probably asking what we're ramping into. Well, of course we have 4 Hydroid Krasis, as it's one of the best things to ramp into in Standard currently. You get to draw a bunch of cards, gain a bunch of life, you get a huge body, it slices, it dices. Hydroid Krasis does everything everybody wants. But on top of that, we're also playing 3 Mass Manipulation. This card's been popping up a lot recently ever since the Planeswalker decks have really became popular, and it's really been a hard card for them to defeat, which is part of the reason why we're on this deck. As well as we have a 1 of Spark Double, because it's really sweet to copy a Tolsimir against mono red. So you get a wolf, you gain 6 life and fight 2 creatures, or copy a Nissa, which then it triples all of our mana from our forests. So that's the main deck, pretty straightforward. Moving on to the sideboard, we have a 1 of Baffling End as just a removal spell for against the more creature heavy decks. We have 2 negates as well as 4 Dovin's Vetoes for the control and Nexus matchups, as we really need counter spells. They're our best way to interact. We have 3 Thorn Lieutenants for against mono red and control, as it replaces itself, but it's also just an awkward body against mono red. 2 Knight of Autumn for the life gain, and also when we need to blow up enchantments. 1 more Tolsimir for against those red decks, and then 2 Entrancing Melodies for the smaller creature decks. That way we can snag whatever is in our way. So that's the deck we're going to be running through. But before I hop into the Arena League, let me hop over here to our sponsor and make sure we shout out momsbasementgames.tcg Player Pro. They are the best one-stop shop for anything Magic related you're going to need. Make sure you check them out. If you need your Chandras or your Tybalts for your mono red deck, your Nissas for the deck that we're playing today, or your Dreadhorde Arcanist for anything from Standard Heroic to Legacy Delver. Mom's Basement Games has everything you need. If you're watching this in the future on YouTube, thank you again. I super appreciate it. Also, check down in that description box below where you can find all the links that I'm talking to, especially the link to watch us live on Twitch. Make sure you give us a like on Facebook. Give us a follow on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @momsbasementmtg. As well as all of you watching live right now, make sure you check out our YouTube channel for the best Standard, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Pauper, and Commander content. On top of that, I have one more favor to ask, which is that you would go to my own Twitter and give me a follow. My Twitter is @RichardTMTG, where I talk about Magic, League of Legends, anything else you guys would want to talk about. And I also like to mention our giveaways that we're doing, which will be happening today at the end of the stream for anyone just joining in. So now that we got that all out of the way, what do you say we hop into some arena action and we get to testing this deck? I'm pretty excited to test it. I've played some games with it now, but I haven't gotten to put enough testing into it to know if all the cards are perfect. Ryan, what's up? Nice to see you in chat, man. Hopefully you're interested in some arena content that I will be providing. But yeah, I haven't really gotten to test this deck much yet. I've played it, for the past couple days, but I think there's a lot of promise to a deck like this, and that's part of the reason I just want to test and see. Alright, we lost the die roll in our first game. We normally would like to win the die roll, but that's okay. I can't personally think of a time in Standard that you would prefer to be on the draw. I do want to try out Growth Chamber Guardian in this deck. So we don't really have any accelerants, and our first play would be Steel Leaf on 3. So I think I'm tempted to ship this back. This hand's a little risky, but if we draw lands, this hand will be great. Just like that, we'll leave that right on top. So we get to go turn 1 Llanowar Elf, and then potentially Steel Leaf Champion, or just get more ramp on with Incubation Druid, depending on which seems correct. Turn down Arena. Alright, hopefully that's better. Let me know if it's too quiet. Let me try shrinking this a little bit for you guys then. We have an arena overlay, but Josh doesn't seem to have it on his computer, unfortunately. I'll try to fix that in a second. I gotta take my turn. So, based off their play, I think we're just gonna go ahead with the stage. Oh yeah, I can just do it in game. That's very true.
Rules are for push knobs. Let's just fight.
Oh, that was resolution. It would help if I read and not just click.
Oh, there'll be nothing but dust when I'm done.
I know I've done it before. We'll try to find it here in a second. So our opponent has a Dovin, and that's kind of awkward for our frozen sticks. I think we're just gonna go ahead and put this into play tap and play this, and then go ahead and kill that.
No, you haven't seen the last of me.
I don't see it. Like, I don't see what could change that. That's a big boy. Trying to figure out what the best play here is. I think it's Crisis for 3 to get the best option. Oh, did you mean I have to change the audio in there? I thought you were talking about the hand size. There, let me know how that is. I don't think we want to block. I think we just want to take this 6 here. Maybe casting a Domri. This is a pretty good draw here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could hold up Frilled Mystic, but that doesn't do much because of rhythm. I think we're still gonna do this.
Witness the ties that bind us all. The land shall conquer you!
What's wrong with your standard deck, Ryan? The bird, which cannot be countered. Probably here. Yep. Draws land for turn. So if we trade, we're down mana. I could see just blocking this, taking where okay, everything's going at me. I think I like flashing this in and then double blocking the Farah. Then we can just play a huge Crisis next turn. Ooh, does that make more? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. B for 10. Playing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9. 11, 12. It's the same thing.
are all connected.
Maybe 2 green. Plus on the 4.
Rise, my elemental
Make
friend.
a blue. Plus on the 3.
The land fights for us.
15. 13. They will hide. And we can shock this and play our Paradise Druid. That's a pretty sweet interaction. We got to live the dream of tripling our mana with Nissas in our first game. And played a 13/13 Hydroid Krasis. Not bad, not bad. Definitely got to see the power of this deck. I know there was a way to like shrink the or make the screen so it wouldn't block the hand. So against Gruul. Baffling End seems decent, our counter spells seem awful. Teferi seems decent, Night of Autumn seems good because it can blow up the enchantment. Frilled Mystic seems kind of lackluster. I don't really think they're going to target our stuff, so I don't really think this is a Thorn Lieutenant matchup. And we got 2 more cuts somewhere. What do you guys think the last 2 cuts in this matchup are? I think I'm leaning towards... I'm not really sure. We might only want like 1 Tolsimir or 2. Yeah, we might only like want 1 Tolsimir. What do you guys think about this? I think Mass Manipulation is going to be really good against their deck. I think we want our ramp. Baffling End can tag something small in the beginning. Maybe Baffling End is worse than Tolsimir, actually. I could buy that. I think we're going to try it like this. So have you missed Incubation Druid at all, Gavin? I know you mentioned that that was one of your cuts. What do you guys think about this hand in this matchup? We don't have any early ramp, but Teferi can bounce one of their things and then Steel Leaf can come down. We have a Nissa and a Hydroid Krasis. This hand might just be kind of slow in this matchup. What's your guys' stances? Do you think you'd keep this or would you mull it? Sorry that Josh's phone kept going off. Yeah, I know you said you cut Paradise. Oh, yeah, I know you said you cut Paradise Druid. I think we're going to go ahead and mulligan this. Yeah, this hand looks a lot better, I think, in this matchup. Don't really want another Night of Autumn, though. Yeah, okay. Did I say Incubation the first time? I meant Paradise. Not the worst draw. Our opponent had the Land War Elf, which is kind of scary. Just a Jade Light, though. The Bull. Yikes. drag your deck off screen real quick, Ryan, so I can take a peek at it. Spins the Boar is debating on Phoenix. I think I like the man land more if you're trying to play a colorless land than Karn's Bastion. And I feel like you probably want some Llanowar Elves in here. Okay, so we drew another land. I think I don't want to shock if I don't have to. We're gonna just go like this. Next turn we can shock if we want a Entrancing Melody for 2, but I doubt we will. Okay, they don't have another. But they really wanted that Phoenix. Do they want Domriel for a land? Probably not, I assume. Interesting. Do they have the land then, and they just chose not to play the... Oh, they don't have... Okay. They didn't have another red mana. We're gonna declare no blocks here. So... You have to play Domri. I'm trying to think what I want to do this turn. I think it might just be Steel Leaf Champion tap land. But I could also see just wanting to take this to try to delay the Phoenix until we can mass manipulate. I think we're gonna go with that. I don't know if this is the correct one. We don't really have a lot of time to wait. Oh, it has Hexproof. Crap. That was a mistake. I just shocked for nothing because I forgot I had Hexproof. But we're chilling. So they can play Domri or the Phoenix if they want.
No accord! No peace! These go here, those go there.
That was pretty good. I think we just have to take the door again, unfortunately. So we're going to start by attempting to attack Domri and see what they do. They choose the block, which is fine. And here I think we just want to ramp to try to get up to our mass manipulation. 1, 2. So we could mass manipulation for 1. Which we might have to do.
Power could go a long way.
I'd really like to get another turn to where I can pump this first, but I don't know if we have that luxury. These Phoenixes are very good against us. I can always just Entrancing Melody the first Phoenix. I don't hate that line. I think that's better than using this mass manipulation early. Interesting, they just go for a Jade Light. Yeah, I know I can adapt to Druid, but that doesn't really help us much here. Well, here it might, but if he could play a Phoenix, it wouldn't. Because we can't let him just keep hitting us with the Phoenixes. We're gonna die really quick. So I don't really think we can just like take the turn off to adapt here. Interesting. We can trade and hope to rip a land. Yeah, we have to trade and hope to rip a land because we're just. We take this. He plays another one. No, I think I just need to. Phoenix. We kill this. This doesn't return to its home.
Yeah, it doesn't always work out how you want.
We have the token, but they have the Phoenix. Oh, that was a misplay. I was for some reason thinking I could block Death Freakers. I don't really know if we had a line that got us out of that, though. So now that we've seen more of this deck, I kind of want this Baffling End back in. I think I like the Baffling End over the Tolsimir. I didn't have enough mana to mass manip for 2. I only had 6 mana. Yeah, I only had the 6. Because it took all my mana to Entrancing Melody. And Mass Manipulation is 4 blue XX. Yeah, I know. It stunk. Trying to think if we want to change anything else. We just need earlier ramp than them. Like, these matchups always really rely on like who has the Llanowar Elf. But I don't think we can mulligan to Oblivion hoping to get a Llanowar Elf either. The early Steel Leaf was good though. Yeah, I think we're gonna just run it like this. How's your testing been with the deck going, Gavin? You like Tolsimir? What do you think Tolsimir is better than? Yeah, this hand's great. We have turn 2 Steel Leaf, Knight, or Llanowar Elf, or turn 2 Steel Leaf, Knight, or Baffling End, depending on which feels better. Like, I like Tolsimir in this matchup, I just don't know what Tolsimir is better than. I kind of want to take him off a land because I feel like he just doesn't have a play. What do you guys think? Do we play Steel Leaf and then Baffling End whatever he plays? Or do we just play Baffling End and make... because he probably doesn't have a 2-drop to play. We've seen 0 2-drop. Well, we've seen Jade Light Ranger. Baffling End or Steel Leaf Champion? I think I'm leaning towards Steel Leaf. We're gonna go ahead and do it. Hopefully we'll draw a land next turn. That's the thing with this deck. You really just always want to hit land drops. It's a good thing we didn't go after the Llanowar Elf because it wouldn't have gained us too much. Although we might go for it here to keep them off 4, depending on what. Okay, or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do this for 2. That's kind of weak. This only hits 3 or less. Kind of like shipping with both and playing a Steel Leaf. Trying to get the pressure on. But if you play something big, part of me really just wants the Baffling Out Llanowar Elf too, though. Yeah, let's see what he does. I think because of that, we're going to go with the Steel Leaf when he plays. If he plays a Phoenix, we can eat the token with Baffling End. If he plays a Boar, we trade it. Knight of Autumn gets to blow that up, so that's cool. Old Branch Walker. Them not hitting a land is unfortunate. I actually think we're going to just try to pressure our opponent out. So we're going to Baffling End down this. Attack for 10 and turn to 3. So he has to put 2 blockers that can block Steel Leaf Champion into play now. Let's see if he can do it. Rhythm does seem weird. Has a lava coil. Okay. So coil plus creature also works. Yep. Okay, kind of unfortunate. And he did hit something, so this is going to be able to kill the Steel Leaf. Maybe the Llanowar Elf play was kind of greedy early. So he has to trade because he can't. We're gonna Knight of Autumn and blow up here. Which Domri is this? It's that one. I could also just see putting counters on this. But if his last card in hand's a creature, we get pretty punished for that. But I think it's right. We just kind of have to hope he doesn't have another creature.
It's a beautiful day for chaos, isn't it?
Phoenixy boy. Chooses to give it haste. So then he has to fight it against the Domri. Huh.
Wild beasts are bringing your comeuppance.
Man. We just cannot draw our 4th land. Kind of unfortunate. We're playing 25 lands. I think this game kind of slipped out from under us. Maybe trading the Llanowar Elf early was wrong. But it felt like we would be able to get enough aggression out.
We won't answer to other guilds.
What do you guys think? Do you think it was wrong to trade the Llanowar Elf early on for the Jade or the Merfolk Branch Walker? We take 6 here. Six. 6, 8. I think we're just dead unless we play. Play this for 1. We'll play this for 2. Go to 8. He fights, attack, 8. And hopefully he doesn't. That's fine. Yeah, we kind of burked off and died this game. We were super aggressive early on, but maybe that was incorrect. I'm not sure. It felt like our best way to win the game was to be aggressive. Maybe we just need to.
That's the sound of a stampede coming straight
We're not
at
1
you.
out. Or 0-1. Tough way to start for sure. But we got another try. Hopefully we can rally back. That's what we did when we played the Naya. Or not Naya, the Jeskai Heroic deck that I played. Probably about a month ago now. You can find that mod on our YouTube channel. Oh yeah, this hand's good. We have a lot of mana in this hand. We have payoffs and hybrid Kratos and Spark Devil if we drop them. Not much, Nate. What about you? Just getting ready to do our giveaway at the end of the stream. Otherwise, just playing some arena and hanging out. I'm gonna play the Incubation Druid because if we draw a land, we can actually just play it next turn. Looks like we're against Esper Hero. Llanowar Elf, not technically, but we'll make it work. I think we just want to go ahead and get more mana into play. Our ramp home and then pass it back. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can Krasis for 4. Or we could just adapt this. That's had a hard time drawing lands, oddly. I was drawing too many before. I was actually contemplating cutting one. No, this is with 25. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and create this for 4. Alright, so we drew a land. Teferi's pretty good to deal with this hero. We're also just slowly fueling our other hybrid Krasis.
If you show remorse, I'll show restraint. There's nothing.
Bounce that. That's pretty sweet. It'll kill it next turn. We can shot. Spark double artification.
Let's slow
Bounce
this
it.
down.
And our opponent just concedes. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I want to try the 2 mass and trimming a land, but I'm not sure at the same time. That was the one Joshua Warren. So I don't really care for our creature removal in this matchup. I typically like trimming 2-mana mana dorks in this matchup also, because we're not so much about ramping as we are just trying to play efficient threats. And I typically trim like a mass, the knights, and I actually feel like I don't like these negates. I feel like are more for the Nexus matchup than they are for the actual control matchups. I'm not even certain I want Dovin's Veto against control. How do you guys feel about that? This is what I've typically been doing, but I'm not sold that it's correct. I could see keeping in some of the 2-mana ramp. Incubation's gas. What do you think I take out for incubation then? That's kind of my problem. I'm not sure what's worse than, or what incubation is better than, other than maybe just not bringing in counter spells. You don't like mass? That's fair. I could see doing something like this. What do you think? Let's go ahead and try this. I think you also mentioned you don't bring in Thorn Lieutenant against control, but Thorn Lieutenant typically feels pretty good when it's simply you don't have a lot of 2-drops in the deck anymore. I thought you played Knight instead of Thorn. My bad. We're missing blue mana, and our hand only really plays a Steel Leaf on 3, so I'm not huge on it. I think I'm going to go to 6. This hand has the same problem, but I really don't think I want to go to 5. Our opponent kept their 7. They probably have Thought Erasure. What do you guys think? Would you mold a 5, or would you keep this? It's not great considering both our lands come and play tapped. Well, a little late on that one. I think we just have to keep this. Bottom the veto. Be great if we didn't have double Hinterland Harbor for our land war elf. Would have been sweet to have played an elf on one. Alright. We're on track to play Steel Leaf next turn. Hopefully we draw a land still, though. Our opponent's mana is online. Thought Erasure us. Not certain what they probably take the Steel Leaf. Yeah, they snapped it off, actually. And kept on top pretty easily. I drew Incubation, so I'm going to go ahead and play it and then attack. Play a Krasis for 2 next turn. Never mind. Really, takes the Nissa. Interesting. I guess Nissa probably is the hardest threat for them to deal with. I think I'm actually going to play this in pass, because I want to try to adapt the Incubation Druid. It doesn't hurt to hold the Krasis for a turn. We can get a lot of value off that. Just go ahead and Josh over here being goofy. He is moving playmats like he is in Africa. Just gonna go ahead and 3-4. I'm gonna just play this for 4 because I want to draw a land and play this Thorn Lieutenant. play a land war off it. This Hydroid Crisis blocks the Bell Haunt pretty well. So it might even... Oh, got a whole Kai. Guess we'll go ahead and play a Thorn Lieutenant now. Another Pacific. I kind of want to discard the Veto. What do you guys think? Not really hype on any of this hand. But I think the Veto or the Teferi is probably the worst. I'm actually going to discard the Teferi, because if we draw... Of course. If we would have drawn a land, I could have Thorn Lieutenant plus Howl of Veto. I'm trying, Chuck. It's not the easiest right now. Unfortunately, we just haven't drawn white mana.
Trust me. Keep up the pace.
We have 12 white sources in the deck. And we're pretty behind right now. From killing us. We're just pretty dead though.
The focus and the thoughtfulness before action.
Hold that thought.
We're done with this game. We're definitely not coming back from that, unfortunately. So they're hero. Do we want to change anything of how we sideboarded? Still needs to be turned down? Okay. Let me know how that is. The arena noise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Trying to decide if we want to change anything up for against hero. Cool, glad to help. I could almost see trimming one of these Teferis as they're kind of a tap out deck. Even potentially just taking Teferi out. I'm not sure about Knight. Josh, you can't do that on Twitch. It's not Twitch appropriate. Cool, thanks, man. See you. Thanks. I think we're going to go ahead and try this. I'm not 100% certain, though. I'm not certain how good the Thorns are against the hero deck. I guess it does block hero and the Knights pretty well. I mean, you're right. Definitely not keeping this hand. Okay, this hand's pretty good, though. Just kind of want to find a payoff with it. Manipulation has been a tad awkward. So I could very well see trimming a manipulation from this deck. Go ahead and keep this. I think we're gonna bottom that. Well, are we? Yeah, I think so. $18 land royal. Next turn we can play this Hallowed Fountain tapped and then Thorn Lieutenant, depending on what we draw. I think our life total can actually matter sometimes in this matchup. Do we Crisis for 2 here, or do we jam a Steel Leaf? I think we're definitely attacking with the Thorn. I can get behind the Steel Leaf play. Just the most pressure. We're not even certain he has white mana in his hand. Now we are.
Longer. Stand
Probably
by
just
and
tucking our
watch.
steel,
Don't worry.
putting our steel
I
back
got
in our
this.
hand. Alright, so here I kinda like Forest, attack to Fairy, attack him, play Steel Leaf again. How do you guys feel about that? I kind of want to wait to Crisis till next turn, that way we can draw 2. But I get what you're saying. We'd rather have the Crisis Raft than the Steel Leaf. Music
what?
sounds like Star Wars. Do 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 do. Mass manipulate. Kind of awkward because we don't have enough blue mana here. Wonder what's going on over there. They might be stuck on their 4th land based off how much they're tanking. Maybe trying to decide what to Teferi bounce this turn. We need to draw a land.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. Trust me.
Really?
I have a plan.
Hopefully we draw a land for that. It's not a land, but that's going to be a very good play this turn. Do we actually plus on a
Will
land?
not fail.
I kind of want to just plus and not choose a land, that way we don't lose it if our opponent has the Kaya's Wrath.
Harness the elements.
Yeah, I think I like this also.
I really should have seen that coming.
Don't you want to get away? Take you to the other side. 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can Crisis for 6 next turn.
If you wish wish to surrender now, I understand. I have just the trick for this.
Kinda wanna just make another Nissa here. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make another Nissa. 3, 6, 9, 10. We could do this for 4. I think we're definitely spark. I let it auto tap for me. Damn it.
Together,
I didn't even think about auto tapper. Erg. 1. Now I'm just screwing everything up. 4, 5. Plus 2.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Pump this. Plus here with no target this time.
Behold, nature's true power.
I really hate how there's no way to take something back on Arena.
I have reached my limit.
Okay. So now, because I don't have another forest because I screwed up. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that's the play. Wait, can this only be on a land that doesn't have counters on it? Yeah. Man, that feels so bad.
The land shall conquer you.
6, 7. So we're gonna have 2 Nissas that can ultimate, but I think I'm fine plussing on this land again.
Harness the elements.
7, 8, 9, 10, so 8. Draw 4 cards. Put this into play. Sun Petal Llanowar out. The Spark Double's been really sweet, a really sweet addition to this deck.
This isn't a fight you can win. Here we go.
We can make all of our mana. Josh is wiping outside doing yard work right now. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can crisis for 5 again. I don't hate that. We want to start by floating green. Go for the ulti.
Life cannot be denied.
Get all of the forests out of our deck. Then we can plus on a normal forest.
The land fights for us.
6, 7, 8. Just crisis for 4 here. Oh. Well, it didn't matter anyways, so we got there. Typically, ulting a Nissa will win games. Sorry that wasn't the most clean. I'm still not perfect with the arena client, so. Alright, we got 1 win and 1 loss. Hopefully we can rally back a couple more wins with this deck. That game kind of shown the power level of the deck off a lot. They could stretch it real quick. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on all of the 75 on this deck. This hand seems good for on the play. Breeding Pool tapped into Paradise Druid. Then we can decide if we want to Steel Leaf or Frilled Mystic if we draw land, depending on the matchup. Point. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Interesting. Alright, so here, I don't really want to show them that we're the 3rd color yet if we don't have to. And double white isn't super relevant. I think we're just going to Paradise Druid off this forest. Looks like just traditional green black. And I think here, I kind of like just holding up Frilled Mystic for whatever their play is. Because if it's a Jade Light, I'd really like to counter it before playing these. See what the opponent's got going on for turn 3. If they don't do anything, I'm fine with that. We can just like keep hitting land drops for our Hydroid Crisis. I could even see flashing this. I actually like that more. I think whatever they play on 3 is fine. I kind of just want to kill this wild water. They trophy it, we get the ramp. They have a cast down, which is fine. That was basically their whole turn, so. So now we can do both of those. Llanowar out. Steely Boy. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Next turn we have 6 mana, so we can Crisis for 4 if we want. Our opponent appears to be stuck on lands. I think we're going to definitely start with smacking our opponent for 5. Then I think I like playing the big Crisis to just try to race. Draw a couple cards and get our land drop. No land drop, unfortunately, but still a lot of cards in hand. Drew into another Crisis. Light because we need the land drop, obviously. 1, 2, 1. We can just use this turn to super ramp some more. Start with a big attack. And then we can Llanowar Elf, Steel Leaf, and Incubate. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opponent just couldn't keep up, unfortunately. They bricked on their 3rd land. So it looks like just green-black, potentially soul tie. Our counter spells don't seem great. Baffling End might be good. I don't think Teferi's very good in this matchup. Neither is Knight of Autumn. And we have 3 more potential cuts. I don't think I'm really big on Thorn Lieutenant in this matchup. I think I like being pretty close to our main deck, except bringing in like the Entrancing Melodies, the Baffling End, and the extra Tulsimir. Just for some extra, just for a little bit of removal. How do you guys feel about that in chat? Just taking out Teferi, because Teferi doesn't do a whole lot against the green-black / soul tie deck. In my opinion. This way we have a lot of ramp, we have some removal for their things, but we also just have a bunch of good threats. Spark Double can be pretty funny with us taking any of their planeswalkers, if they happen to play any. Frilled Mystic good if we can get a head on board. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and try this. Sticking to our ramp roots, just adding a little bit of different disruption instead of the Teferis. I think this hand's a pretty easy mold, though. They mold as well, so. This hand, on the other hand, I'm not happy about, but I think I have to keep. I don't really want to go to 5. I'm going to go ahead and put a forest on the bottom. Really hoping for some form of acceleration. Not acceleration, but a fine draw nonetheless. Wild Growth. Llanowar Elf on 1. A little late, but fine. I think I want a Llanowar Elf, because we can always just steal the Wild Growth Walker and then Baffling End whatever else they play. I'm not really concerned about them gaining 3 to 6 life here. No blocks. Ooh, no play either. No play makes me kind of want to hold up this Frilled Mystic again. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. Run back the same play as last game. Get that Chupacabra out of here. I would like to counter that spell. No 5th land, kind of unfortunate, but we can just go ahead and take this Wild Growth Walker of our opponents and attack him for 3. Would have been really good if we hit a land there and just got to slam Nissa, but it'd be like that some days. There's the shoots. Down goes the water. There's the 5th land, too. Right on time. Life. Play on Nissa.
Strange and magnificent world.
I think I'm going to plus Nissa on... probably just the Sun Petal Grove here. And then attack in for 6.
Be wary.
The land I don't super care about if it gets destroyed, but I also can push damage this way. I'm fine with the trade. Grand Walker. They're walking on some sunshine over there. Plague Break. We're gonna go ahead and sack our Llanowar Elf. think this is pretty easy, just baffling him away the Plague Crafter. Plus on a land, attack for 6, and have lethal on the next turn.
Rise, my elemental friend.
We have lethal through Nissa because of another plus. Depends what our opponent's hand is, though. They could have interaction. Finality. That is interaction. Here we do just get to set up for a Nissa ultimate next turn, though. Attack our opponent for another 3.
True power.
We also just have lethal in play. So pretty tough situation for them to get out of. I think I like just going for lethal here.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
We can alt Nissa next turn. Alright, it's a cast down, that's fine. We go to 2, we still just have a bunch of pressure and play there empty-handed. Jade Light seals the deal for us, so. Good games, opponent. This does seem like a really rough matchup for their deck, though.
Harness the elements.
Alright, and we advance to 2-0 with Bant Ramp. And we got a Flames of the Raise Boar. Probably not a card that will see much standard play, but is a card in the new set at the very least. So this deck feels good. I want to definitely try the Growth Chamber Guardians. I'm just like not sold on cutting Incubation Druid. And I don't know. I just like sometimes I flood and sometimes I just brick on lands. So I don't really know if I want to go to a 24. Man, if this was a green, if either of these were green sources, this hand would be a pretty easy keep. Unfortunately, it's not, so we got a mulligan. I can definitely see going down a mass manipulation, though. I don't really want to go to 5, so I think we unfortunately have to keep this and just hope that we get some good scries. Yeah, I actually said, I actually pulled it up and looked at it already. I think you should probably have some Llanowar Elves in the deck somewhere, as well as the Karn's Bastions. I think would be better as manlands, unless you need extra colored mana. And then on top of that, Sarkhan's busted, so I feel like there should probably be a third Sarkhan in here. I was personally unimpressed with Vivian when I played her, so maybe make Vivian into a third Sarkhan, and then potentially, like, maybe... I'm not really sure. Maybe like a 25th land if you feel land light. Should probably take my turn. We're against mono red, which is actually one of our deck's worst matchups, in my opinion. And is also one of the reasons to play Growth Chamber Guardian. It really helps the mono red matchup out. Very good start from the mono red opponent. And not the best hand from us. Not doing anything to turn 3 is basically just a death sentence against mono red. Especially if they curve out with their land drops. So I think I like to very tuck in here. We just really don't want them to get their speed thing going. And it saves us the most life, I think. I just don't know if you have enough lands to make Grazer a consistent ramp is the problem. Like, Grazer's good, but I don't know. Maybe Grazer's correct for the mono-red matchup. I just feel like Grazer should be like Llanowar out. That was some odd sequencing by our opponent. I feel like Llanowar Elf goes... Or, I feel like Grazer is numbers above Llanowar Elf, not over Llanowar Elf.
It's only a matter of time.
And we just have to hope we're not dead. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Alright, we're at 3. Yeah, I'm not certain. Like, maybe you just want more ramp, so you play some number of both. I'm not 100% sure, though. I'd have to, like, think about it a lot more, to be honest. The deck seems sweet, though. I do think Sarkhan should be at least a 3 of, though. Sarkhan is very powerful. Oh, and you should probably have 4 of the... 4, like, anywhere between 3 and 4 of the Planeswalker land in your deck. That card's super strong. It taps for a colorless, just passes. So we block, we gain, block, take 4. We're not dead that way. If I play this as 3, we go to 6. Block, we die. Block, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I think that's the play. Feels bad to play a Krasis for 1 in this matchup, but it's what we have to do unfortunately to survive. We cannot attack. But yeah, back to that land. It taps for a colorless, and then for whenever you cast a Planeswalker spell, you gain a life. And then also you can pay 1, tap it to filter into 2 different colors to cast Planeswalkers. That card has also been really good against the mono red decks. In the Planeswalker decks that I've tried, between the 4-color Dreadhorde deck and the Jeskai Walkers deck. Alright. We're probably just dead to a burn spell, but we're gonna play and hope. I actually want to take this incubation off there. Doesn't super matter where the incubation blocks, but the Krasis is definitely blocking a Pyromancer. Yeah, I mean, we died. Like I said, this is one of our harder matchups, and I also think our hand was very bad in this matchup, so it happens. So like usual, I like to board everything in and then take out. Paradise Druid's really bad because of Goblin Chain Whirler. Our counter spells are not good. Teferis are not very good. And I normally like to trim a Mass Manipulation and a Frilled Mystic. Mass isn't great in this matchup, but neither is Frilled Mystic. And there's just some times that like taking 1 to 2 cards from mono red can win you the game. But for the most part, I think you just really want to lower your curve in this matchup. Part of the reason I think trying something like the Growth Chamber Guardians, I could see very well being correct. Maybe, depending on how long we go in this round, we might try changing the deck up a little bit. But I think we are going to go ahead and try this for right now. See if we can come back, get the 2-0 post-sideboard games against mono red. I would love to be on the play. This hand seems really good against mono red, so we're going to keep. Interplanar Beacon, there we go. That's the name of it. Forest Llanowar, save it. Hopefully they don't kill our elf. Perfect. So now we can go Sun Petal into Steel Leaf. And we're going to just slowly set up for this Tolsimir. Probably playing a Hydroid Krasis if our opponent doesn't kill our Llanowar Elf. Alright. Yeah, I think the 2 life is worth it here to play a Crisis for 2. It just can block better, plus being with the life is awesome card. Don't really want to attack. We're on the defense here. Once I play Tolsimir, we can maybe get aggressive. Okay. This smells like a burn spell to me. So I think I'm going to take it, because then when we play Tolsimir, I can potentially just make them burn spell. Okay. That's pretty good for us then. Now we shock here, we play Tolsimir. We get to kill their Scream King with our Wolf. Now I feel pretty comfortable getting aggressive. I'd really like to draw like some other way to gain life, either another Tolsimir or even that's actually pretty good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we can go ahead and attack for 5. And then just run out an Incubation and a Steel Leaf. Get the board all nice and gummed up. Plus we get to play this Breeding Pool tap. Steel Leaf Champion has been super impressive in this deck, as I was saying in the deck tech. It's kind of odd for a ramp deck to play Steel Leaf because it's more of an aggressive card, but it just like lets you swap into this nice aggressive role, and it also just like can take your opponents by surprise. I'm not gonna block this. I'm not super worried about 2 damage. I'd rather just have lethal in play. Make my opponent deal with my Steel Leafs. Yeah, so taking that 2 here essentially gained me 4 life, which I am totally cool with. Yeah, our opponent has to kill that because otherwise they're dead. We're just gonna bash in with both. Play this Druid pass. Now our opponent has to either 2-for-1 us again, or 2-for-1 themselves to kill the Steel Leaf again, or they die. Yep. Steel Leaf is really good in this matchup, actually. I remember playing Mono Red back in the day when Kaladesh was still legal, and this was like one of the most annoying cards to face on turn 2 if they played it off a Llanowar Elf and you didn't have the removal, or even if you did, just even coming down on turn 3, it's really good in this matchup. So do we want to change anything on the draw? What do you guys think? Do we want to change any numbers on the draw? I'm not so certain. I kind of like where our deck is. We just need to do exactly like that game. We really need to like tempo and curve our opponent out. The original list from the MCQ didn't have Thorn Lieutenant or the other Tolsimir in the sideboard, but I've been really big on, especially Thorn Lieutenant. Thorn Lieutenant's been super good because it comes in so many matchups. The third Tolsimir typically only comes in here in some of the value matchups, so I could potentially see this being something else, but it's the best idea I had. I kind of like Tolsimir more than Lyra even, because you're guaranteed to get that 3 life, to where you're not guaranteed to get life off something like Lyra. But it could be potentially correct to play like a 1 of Lyra on the sideboard, or some other really good card against them. This hand is a 1-lander, and I'm not one to keep many 1-landers, so I'm going to go ahead and ship this. Hopefully we'll have a 6 with a Land War Elf. I think we just can't keep this in this matchup. I think we unfortunately have to go to 5. Alright, this 5 is pretty good compared to everything else. I think I'm going to bottom that. We have plenty of plays on turn 2 currently. No play on 1 is good for us. Depending on what they play, we can either Baffling End it or Thrown Lieutenant. We are definitely going to Baffling End that. Put that Steamkin back where it came from, or so help me. There's the old Pyromancer. Mass Manipulation right on time. I could see it being... Maybe we're supposed to actually board another Mass Manipulation out. Because we only have the 12 blue sources. And that's kind of light for a card like this. So maybe we're only supposed to board... Maybe we're supposed to board down to only 1 in the deck. Or... Yep. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell on top of it. They do. So... I think I just gotta trade with the token to conserve life. That was a good one right there. A land or a Steel Leaf Champion were probably the best draws in our deck. Oh, they had the Lava Coil. No. We're taking so much damage here. Our opponent has to control next turn. Can I even afford to shock? So we go to 8. We block. We take 8. So I can't afford to shock. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think this Mass Manipulation is supposed to be... I think we're only supposed to have like 1 in the deck post-board. So that went kind of fast. So I'm totally down to play another one for you guys. But I think we're going to go ahead and try to change the deck up a little bit. Are you still in chat by any chance, Gavin? Ash, yeah, great
horror are the
These cards are
ingredients
fine.
of the
Nothing to write home about, though. Alright. So Gavin mentioned that he trimmed a Mass Manipulation, a Sun Petal Grove, a Teferi, and cut these Paradise Druids for 4 Growth Chamber Guardians. Let me pull up his list really quick, actually. If you're in chat right now, Gavin, that'd be awesome for you to just hop in here. Someone told me that they were still having some tough times hearing us. I'm going to just turn this down a little bit more. Just pulling up some messages with Gavin right now that we had. Figure we can try some different things out, you know? He had a one of Entrancing Melody in the main. What was the last card he had? Oh, he had a 4th Nissa. Interesting. I think I like having the Teferi instead of the 4th Nissa. Just because Teferi's so good in other matchups. And I believe we talked about his sideboard earlier. Let me see if I can find those. So he didn't have these negates, which I'm willing to try not having negate. He had an extra one of these. And an extra Thorn Lieutenant. I say we go ahead and try the Lyra in this slot. Well, no, because I really want to see Tulsamir in that matchup. So I think we're going to leave the Tulsamir in the sideboard. Yeah. What do you guys think about this? How do you feel about trying this 75 out for our next one? You guys got any cards you think I should try? Any recommendations? Any opinions? I'm going to try the 24 lands and see how it feels. If we feel like we're not drawing enough lands, we can always trim the Teferi and go up a land. And then if I decide to do that, we can probably take out, like, the Tulsamir maybe from the sideboard. I'm not really sure. Let's go ahead and give Growth Chamber Guardian a try, though, shall we? Alright. You get 2 for the price of 1 today. Only on giveaway day, you get 2 leagues for the price of 1. It's actually just any time I scrub out that bad on Arena. We gotta keep trying some new things, you know. I got a lot of tournaments coming up here shortly. I'm willing to throw a lot of stuff at walls to see if it sticks, if you know what I'm saying. Sand seems good. Other than our lands come into play tapped, which is kind of awkward. But I think we still have to keep a hand like this. It is. It's the day we give away the box of War of the Spark to one of the people that are a follower, subscriber, or donator to our Patreon. We will do that at the end of our stream. Not a land, unfortunately, but we'll get to see how Growth Chamber works. Yeah. Who doesn't love the chance to win free stuff, am I right? So another land that comes in play tapped, funny enough. I think I want to just Teferi and bounce this. Just kind of time walk our opponent.
I am not going to sit this one. I'll protect you.
Drew a Nissa. Doesn't really ramp us with our land base currently, but still a good card. They just run it back. Still no land drop, awkwardly enough.
No,
So I think we go ahead and plus. And I almost like Teferiing again, honestly. I think we just want to keep our opponent off tempo.
Sorry I'm late.
And also, hopefully draw land.
I've got time.
Still no land, yikes. Go ahead and attack the 1. We'll have Frilled Mystic up next turn, though, if we'd like, with Teferi, which is pretty sweet. They could potentially play 2 creatures here, which would be kind of awkward, but we were really hoping to rip a land. Yeah, I think we might just need 25 lands in this deck. Which I could see just putting the 25th land back in. Okay, there's a land. Start again by plussing Teferi, like I said.
This might be a bad idea.
I want to play Nissa. But I also kind of like having Frilled Mystic up. Oh, we actually don't have double blue, so we can't have Frilled Mystic up. L-O-L. Yeah, we're just going to go with Nissa. Plus on our Temple Garden here. And then play out our Growth Chamber Guardian. Just try to advance our board state as much as possible. We have the deck list. If you put exclamation deck list in chat, it'll pop up on Stream Decker. Or if you hit that nifty little widget on the side of the stream for Stream Decker, it'll also pull up the deck. Although it won't have the updated list in it, actually, I just thought about. I need to update the list on Stream Decker. Do I care more about this Teferi or this growth chamber? I think the answer is Teferi. Plus Teferi. 1, 2, 3. You can have 5 mana here. Still no double blue, unfortunately. I think it might have been incorrect to block last turn, actually. The more I'm thinking about it.
The land fights for us.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, I can't count. I think we're gonna just go with this then. Just attack for 3, leave up as many blockers as we can. I can actually go ahead and edit Stream Decker while I'm playing this. Ooh, so our opponent's actually Grixis. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. I think I like just tempoing my opponent again.
Let's try this.
Alright, there's a land. And I think we just go for another Teferi here.
Right on
Plus him
schedule.
up.
Here we go.
Plus Nissa on our land to get the beats in. And our opponent bricked on lands, which was kind of unfortunate, but it got us there. Now, how do we want to sideboard against Grixis? Looks more like Grixis mid-range than control. The Baffling Ends might be interesting. The Vetoes as well. Same with the Melodies. I think Night of Autumn's not great here. I think Tolsimir's probably not that good. Not to where we want a 3rd. I can also just see, like, maybe we're supposed to just be the ramp deck here. But I could also see... What do you guys think our last 3 cuts are for this matchup? While you guys think about that, I'm going to hop over to Stream Decker really quick and edit. So we added in 4 Growth Chamber Guardians. And we took out the Paradise Druids. And the Sun Petal Grove. And then I'll update the sideboard here in a second. Yeah, Mass Manip might not be good. They probably only have like Nico Bolas. I actually don't think Thorn Lieutenant's that good against them. So maybe we do something like this since we've seen some smaller creatures. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and try this. I can flip back over here and edit the sound. So we took out Negates. Added in the 4th Thorn Lieutenant and the 3rd Night of Autumn. And everything else was left the same. So there we go. Anybody that wants to check out Stream Decker, it should be updated now. This hand on the draw versus Grixis. If we had a white source, I'd probably think about keeping it. But I feel like we can maybe just do better, honestly. I think we can try to find some ramp. That is the only issue with playing all the growth chambers and no paradise. We don't have a lot of ramp. We only have 7 pieces of ramp in the deck currently. This hand's really missing blue mana, but I think we have to keep it on 6. Our opponent also mulligan. So I could see maybe needing some number of Paradise Druids. Maybe even taking out like an Incubation. Because Paradise does help fix mana better than Incubation Druid does. We can go ahead and bottom that to Fairy. Maybe it's also just not correct to play 4 copies. Really, our opponent chose to be on the play. That's interesting. Or on the draw. That's interesting. Wonder if that was a mistake or on purpose. But I could see maybe only playing 3 growth chambers. It is kind of awkward since you always want to fetch them out, but playing 3 would allow me to play 2 Paradise, 2 Incubation. And then that's still 8 sources of ramp in the deck. Okay. So unfortunately, we have not hit another color of mana, but we drew another Llanowar Elf. I think this deck needs all of its Llanowar Elves. Turn 2 search. Ugh. Yikes. Yeah, I think going down a land was definitely a mistake. I think we should just trim a Teferi and then play the 25th land still. Or maybe we trim a Teferi to play 2 and 2 on the Mana Dorks. We could trim a Teferi, play 2 and 2 on the Mana Dorks. Or we could trim a Teferi and a Growth Chamber and play 3-2 on the Mana Dorks. Then we only really trimmed a Mana Dork from the deck. No escape. Interesting card. Shimmer of Possibility. I'm shimmering at our opponent's possibilities. Yeah, this is super awkward, unfortunately. And again, I'm not even set on the Growth Chamber Guardians. It's just an idea Gavin had, and I figured, why not give it a try? I wanted to try another league, so I figured we can test out some new things. It could be correct to still play the ramp pack, just more ramp. Maybe just cut a... Jeez. Maybe make all 4 of those into the land and the 3 Paradise Druids again. Just change a Mass Manip into an Entrancing Melody. Yeah, I mean, our Llanowar Elves are getting there. I don't know for how much longer, but they were getting there. Our opponent mills a land this time. So they probably have a land drop in their hand then. Or they were looking for a removal spell. These melodies just look kind of silly this game. I thought that they might have been a more creature-heavy deck. So I think that these are going to actually come out post-board now that we've seen that they're more of a spell deck with Search for Azcanta. Thought Erasure. Here's my grip, opponent. Probably take Teferi, Frilled Mystic, or Tolsimir is my guess. chooses to ferry. That's a fair choice. Back to us. I want to go ahead and attack for 1 first. And I'll play this land tapped and pass it back to him. Still 1 turn away from flipping search for Azcanta. It is mana. I forgot that it exists. I thought this was Hearthstone where we played without lands. Ooh, Jin.
Curiosity and wonder.
Yeah.
Ether itself serves me.
I mean, we're just not beating this Ugin. We just bricked way too long. And that's kind of one of my fears of cutting down to the 24th land, but I've had some games where I just flood. So definitely worth noting. So these entrancing melodies can definitely come out. They just seem kind of meh. The mass manipulation I'm not even sold on. I could definitely see wanting these Night of Autumns now that we've seen Search for Azcanta, though. What do you guys think about this? This body's also like good against the creature that we seen, the Soul Reaver. None of these cards seem that great. Maybe Dovin's Veto, because we did see Planeswalkers, but we can probably just pressure the Planeswalkers good enough. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we're going to try it like this and hope that it runs a little bit better this way. Going into game 3 against Grixis Control. I would like to take the play. Yet another 1-lander, so I think we're going to unfortunately mull. This hand's not great, but we have to keep it. I'm not going to go to 5. I'm going to bottom that. We really just need a white. We really need a white source. Yeah, I'm kind of missing having some extra ramp in this deck, though. I think decks like this feel really awkward if you don't have your ramp spell. That's right, you do enjoy your destroy target lands, Ryan. So here's the Growth Chamber Guardian. Still no white mana, sad face. Yeah, I think cutting the 25th land was a mistake. But Gavin said it was working fine for him, so I figured I'd try it. I think I should definitely... Pillage is a pretty sweet upgrade to Stone Rain. Oh, I should have adapted this, actually. I kind of forgot about its adaptability, to be honest. I wasn't thinking about it. Oh, we can just do it now. So. It lives, we get to take its action. Grab ourselves another one. And that's actually kind of a good play on our part, because our opponent might have done this because they probably thought we just forgot about its ability. Put Carnival Carnage in the graveyard. Go ahead and we take 2 here. That's sort of a land, not really. think I like being the aggressor here. Playing the incubation druid and passing it. Hopefully we draw a white source so we can bounce this and just reset it. Hostage taker's pretty good for them. Interesting choice. I think I would have probably gone after our land drop here. No block. Hopefully we draw a white source. Not a white source. I think now we're just going to try to advance our board as much as possible.
Behold, nature's true power.
Get us as much mana as possible also. So we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can Krasis for... If we Krasis for 2 less, we can potentially draw a land off to play Teferi. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, now I'm not really sure. Depends on what our opponent takes. If I were them, I'd probably just take the Krasis. Really? Chooses Teferi, interesting. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can do this for 6, draw 3. And then if we draw land, we can... We can no longer Teferi because they took Teferi. Trying to run everything through my head. We can 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's a white source, but I'm not sure if that's better at this point. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can do this and draw 5. I don't hate that. I think that's probably our best play. Do this for 10. Now we got some cards. We can blow up our opponent's Dread Horde next turn so they can't make this into a 6/6 and gain life. Alright, I feel like we're turning a corner. Devil our Hydroid Krasis. Sure. Play a Ral to get that backwards. I should have done that in the other order.
Or it might just be static.
I could have bedeviled 2 things, or
Everyone
just
complains
gotten
to
the
me
ping
about
off
the
it.
weather.
Choose to keep on top. Okay. If it's just that, I'll gladly let Nissa take the hit. Yeah. I think we let Nissa take a hit for 5 here. Okay. Let's figure out the max amount of max damage we can do to our opponent here. We might even have lethal. So this is 2, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3, 6, 7, 8. God, this does not give us enough time to figure decisions out. 2, 4, 5. We'll play a Tulsamir. Choose to fight this. Then we can plus on the Temple Garden.
The land shall conquer you.
2, 3, 4, 5. Tulsamir again. We'll keep this one. Have it fight here. Go to combats. Attack like this. I'm not sure if that was the best play we could have done. Oh! Oh, if I attacked them, they died to their own Dread Horde. I'm dumb. There was a lot that could have been done there. I think we're still in a fine place, but there's definitely plenty of other plays that would have been better. I just didn't have enough time to think about it because of Arena. Arena was ticking down on me. Sure. I would like to block for my Nissa. So the growth chambers have seemed pretty sweet here. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. Pretty sure we just have our opponent dead now. Hopefully we won't mess it up this time. 2, 4, 5. Adapt. Plus on the Hinterland Harbor.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Go to combat. Swing all out. Alright, we did it then. We didn't punt the second combat. Sorry about that. I was just too focused on trying to figure out how to do the most. Didn't think about attacking our opponent. Alright, so we're 1-0 currently with this build of the deck. The growth chambers definitely did work there. Again, I can see them, how they're supposed to be in the deck. I'm not sure if 4 is the correct number of them. We did get the W. I could potentially see it being correct to just be on 3. As weird as that is for a card like that. Yeah, this hand seems fine. Looks like another control opponent. Lead on Breeding Pool. Opponent has a sweet card sleeve too. The anime Narsets. I'm gonna erase some of our thoughts. Not really sure what the correct choice is here. I would probably go with... they choose Growth Chamber. That's a fair choice. I think it's one of these 3 for sure. Either Growth Chamber, Hydroid, or Steel Leaf. I'm just gonna go ahead and play an Incubation Druid and pass. Okay, so they're probably like the Esper Super Friend deck. I think I'm going to go ahead and play a Hydroid Krasis and hopefully be able to block. If we don't get the block, that's fine. They had to waste a removal spell there, but they do get one of our cards then. Yeah.
You show remorse.
Probably a tuck on our Crisis. Yep.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
So now they'll get one of our cards from our deck. Okay, 2 lands, so... Teferi's a pretty sweet draw. So we can Teferi and then Llanowar Elf. I think I like that.
I'm known for my excellent
Go ahead and
timing.
tuck your Thief.
Might be a bad idea.
Play our Elf and pass. I would have liked to have drawn a land, but you know, that was a fine sequence.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
There's their Thief again. Okay, there's our land. So I'm gonna plus Teferi.
I've got it.
Play our land for turn. Then we're gonna cast a Hydroid Krasis for 4. Right? Yep. So we'll draw 2 cards, gain 2 life. We'll keep the value rolling.
Let's try
Plus
this.
is there Teferi. And they cast an Anticipate. Probably digging for a removal spell. Doesn't look like the hit. Perfect. Tolsamir's a sick draw.
Don't worry, I got this.
We adapt this, that's only 3, so we just have to play this in Llanowar Elf, which I'm fine with. Their Teferi dies, we kill their Thief of Sanity. That was actually like probably one of our just best draws in the deck right there.
That didn't go according to plan.
Get a little bit more ramp on. This card is like just overperformed for me. And it's like the main reason why I've came back to a strategy like this. Because the Simic version just felt like if you didn't draw your ramp, you were dead. This deck doesn't feel as bad like that. Alright, so how do we want to sideboard against Esper Super Friends with Thief? Not sure about Thorn Lieutenant in this matchup. Vetoes might be good. Vetoes sound pretty good. It's funny, Teferi seemed good there, but I'm not sold that Teferi's actually good in this matchup. Same with Tolsamir, actually. Because I'm not even sure if they're going to leave Thief in. Kind of the same reason why I think we can trim an Entrancing Melody. Trying to think if we want to change what else we want to take out. What do you guys think we want to do against Esper Super Friends also? I think these Knight of Autumns probably aren't great in this matchup. Oh, nope, we definitely want Hydroid Krasis. So, and then we have 2 more cuts we're thinking about. I could see potentially going for something like this. Entrancing Melody is pretty mana intensive. I actually would probably want the Tolsamir instead because it's the same amount of mana. Except it's a creature, which is harder to counter. Oh, this is 51 cards. I think Mass is super good in this Planeswalker meta that we're in right now, where a lot of people are playing the Planeswalker decks. So I think Mass is strong. This hand is very good. Opponent leads on tap land. We'll do the same. We can start holding up vetoes as soon as turn 3 because I definitely want to just go ahead and play this Manador. So like next turn we can just shock in our Temple Garden, play our Growth Chamber, and hold up the Dovin's Veto. Swahili.
Behold, new wonders.
Yeah, I think I like doing that, even with them playing Swahili. Blast Zone. That's pretty good against us. Interesting. No plays. I think that means we should definitely expect a counter spell. So I think I like just attacking them for 2. Tyrant Scorn to destroy it. I think I'm fine with that, actually. Because then we get to play the Steel Leaf, which it most likely will not have an interaction for. Yeah, quad blue is definitely rough. That's why I think we might want some Paradise Druids back in the deck. The Growth Chamber has seemed pretty strong, though. I think Narset's worth countering here. Hopefully they don't just have a kill spell. I just don't want them being able to dig for things. Player land. And I think I like just jamming Nissa here. But that does put us shields down. But we're shields down with a Nissa. Yeah, I'm in.
I protect that which cannot protect itself.
Plus on this Sun Petal Grove.
Behold, nature's true power.
Go to combat. Steel Leaf can kill this Sahili, and then the Sun Petal can attack our opponent for 3. Save himself a life with one of their servos. And then I think we're good to pass. Yeah, all the fair decks always feel pretty good. Oh, wow. And the land drop. And Nissa actually gave us... I didn't even realize that. That was super sweet. Nissa gave us Dovin's Veto up. That was awesome. Alright, that felt really powerful. What'd we get this time? A Daring Buccaneer for them pirate decks. Alright, so we're 2-0. Let's continue. Again, I definitely think we want a 25th land, or maybe even just the 8th Manador. Could even potentially be just like a one-of Paradise Druid, or doing the 2-2 split like I was saying earlier. Yeah, I'll keep this. I think we can probably go down to 3 of this. This card is very powerful, but I don't know that we... It's really weird, but I don't think we necessarily need the playset. Yeah, Bruin sounds awesome, Ryan. play this. We can Teferi next turn. This Gruul deck seems like it's kind of a rough matchup. Just because Phoenix is so good against us. Declare no block. And they're breaking those spells. Yikes, no land again. I think no land, we're definitely going with the fairy, and we're hoping to rip a land off the top.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Ugh. Yeah, maybe it needs to be a land, not a mana dork. Yeah, that sequence was just awful for us. Still no land. Help collector from our opponent into their spell breaker. They're breaking all those spells. We're gonna go ahead and take 5 here. There's our land. I think you might be a little late though, buddy. Maybe not. I think we gotta play this steel leaf to put up some defense though. Some more spells getting broken. We block 3, 6, 7, 8. We go to 1. Alright. I mean, 1. Oh, yeah, they just adapted the guy. That's fair. The Gruul deck seems pretty impressive, too. Alrighty. So, against the Gruul deck, we obviously don't want our counter spells. Teferi's not very great. Night of Autumn doesn't seem great. Unless we know they're playing the enchantment. I think Thorn Lieutenant just gets outclassed in this matchup too. Seems pretty clean. How do you guys feel about this sideboarding plan against the Gruul deck? Yeah, I'm thinking we potentially go down to a 3rd Growth Chamber Guardian and put in a land, and then we decide if we want the 8th Mana Dork or not. And if we do, we can trim a Teferi and just put him in the sideboard over, like, maybe one of these Thorn Lieutenants. Because I definitely think we want 4 Teferi in the 75 of this deck. He's just so good. Maybe we actually just cut the 3rd Tolsimir. I'm not sold that we want 3 Tolsimir in the 75 anyways. So I could see trimming a Tolsimir for the Teferi. I would like to be on the play. I think we can do a little better. So we're gonna mulligan. Yeah. The old Hollowed Fountain in our Steel Leaf Champion deck always feels good. I think I'm gonna bottom this. I kind of just want like real lands, oddly enough, because we have this to play on turn 2. Not bad. Still pretty far away from our Steel Leaf Champion, Omega Lol. Shock, that's rude, opponent. I wanted to play that. Oh, the old Hollowed Fountain Steel Leaf Champion deck. Maybe the land we trimmed should have been Hollowed Fountain. Trying to decide what... We might just play a Krasis here to try to dig. I think so. I don't really like playing a 2-2 Krasis here. But if we hit a land drop, we can Entrancing Melody this. Take 4. Yeah, trimming a land was a mistake. We just like keep really wanting a land drop here. Interesting. Yeah, this deck definitely needs 25 lands. So I think a growth will probably go down to 3 growth chambers for a land. And then potentially the Teferi for a mana dork. But I'm really on the fence about that one. Or potentially just go down a Teferi for a land. Damn good though. What do you guys think? Would you trim the growth chamber or would you trim a Teferi? The Teferi would just go to the sideboard over something. I'm not sure what yet though. Yeah, the Gruul deck's definitely like not one of our better matchups. They just have flyers which can go over us. If we ever mass manipulation them though, that's pretty good. So here I kinda want a Teferi bounce. So put this into play tap, play Teferi. And just go ahead and cast our Time Walk
Stand
essentially.
by and watch. Goes nothing.
Okay, so now if we draw a land, we have an answer to the hero. Come on, land. Perfect.
That's more like it.
Ultimir coming in clutch again. Like I said, this card's just so good. Not bad. So here, we'll obviously start with...
I've got time.
I think I just want to play Nissa. Plus on one of our lands and get beaten.
Power surges through these lands.
Probably just plus on this Hallowed Fountain.
Harness the elements.
Attack for 9. This card seems really good in the Esper hero decks. Really any blue-white X hero deck. Even the Bant version. The Jeskai hero decks. Our opponent's trying to decide if they want to block or just take 9. I can see merit to both. I think I was supposed to plus on a green source because then we could have played another Incubation Druid. But I also just don't want to overextend into a Wrath if they're playing any. And Hallowed Fountain is the land we care about the least with Nissa. Nissa's super good, and I can see why Gavin had 4 in the deck, or put a 4th in the deck. But I also just think I'd rather have like more utility things. What do you guys think about if there should be a 4th Nissa? Or do you think 3 is plenty of this card? Our opponent takes the 9. Yeah, I think 3 is probably fine. Wonder what our opponent's gonna do. Maybe play big Teferi here. So it's gonna be really sweet. We're actually gonna spark double our Tolsimir and kill both of their creatures. Because we get the trigger for both Tolsimirs. Sure. There goes the 1. Plus.
I'll protect you.
sparked up Ultimate. We'll choose to keep this one. Oh no! We have to keep the new wolf. I didn't know that. Oops. For... crap. Oh, that's super awkward. I think we're still gonna be ahead this game, but... 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, our opponent has to block. Then we just adapt this. They go to 2. And concede. Okay, so, small mistake there, but it's alright. It makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. I just didn't take the second to think about it. Because that wolf has to be there to fight. Don't really think we want Dovin's vetoes in this matchup. I think our creature removal is very good. They're a sorcery deck, so I'm not big on Teferi. Same with Knight. I think 2 Tolsimir is probably enough. Because they actually have a 2-drop we want to kill. It's not just a 3-drop. That was, in fact, a hashtag punt. What are the last 3 cuts, I think? I like Thorn Lieutenant against Hero. But, maybe we do something like this. We have all of our answers for their creatures. What do you guys think about this? Thorn Lieutenant seems pretty good against Hero of Precinct 1. We want all of our removal. And Growth Chamber Guardian's kind of awkward against them. But is it? Decisions. Oh, we have to submit. We only have 5 seconds. So we're going to try it like this. Sorry that I didn't... I totally, like, almost just lost track of time there trying to decide how to sideboard. This hand's good. Duress on 1. Joke's on you, opponent. I have 0 spells. Duress seems like an interesting choice to board in against us. But I guess I did see, like, a decent amount of Planeswalkers game 1. Thought Eraser's pretty good. We have to take our best play. We do need blue mana, though. Attack, player, land, and our Llanowar Elf. Say-go. Depending on what they do, if we draw a land, we can just pull from here. Just more blue cards with no blue mana. Perfect. The mana is kind of stretched in this deck, though, if we're being honest. Come on, lands. I know you're in here. Yeah, they drew their land before we did. And I think that's probably what's going to win them the game. Maybe we need some number of, like, blue-white lands are so awkward, but maybe we need some number of Glacial Fortress in this deck. We have no blue mana. That is such a convoluted way to cancel out of an X spell, but okay. Yeah, I think we might actually just need more blue mana in this deck. I'm just gonna take one. Wonder what they have in hand that it's pausing for. There we go. Oh, cast this for 3. Perfect. Alright. That's it. Oh, yeah. Maybe if we caught mana dorks from this deck for growth chambers, we need to add some number of Glacial Fortress to the deck so that way we have more consistent blue mana. So maybe we, like, trim a forest for a Glacial Fortress. I could see that. And maybe the land we add also is a Glacial Fortress. We have 12 white to where we'd have 12 blue. That wouldn't change that count at all. Interesting decisions. Trying to decide if we want to change anything up here too. Based off what we saw. I think we're cool with just running everything back. I think that was kind of an unfortunate game. But I also think it shows an interesting thing with the deck, where we probably just need some extra. Okay, this hand's fine. No ramp, but just a good curve. Go growth chamber on 2, and then we can either adapt it or play something else on 3. We do have blue mana this game. It heard me asking for it. It said, "Ask and you shall receive." We'll attack for 2, see if they'll take the block. I figured it. Then we'll just play a Thorny Tenor. Make it so he at least won't attack. Okay. This is a pretty good draw here. Yeah, and I don't really want to attack. I just want to keep their hero back. Thought Eraser's annoying, but not the end of the world because we have 2 really good plays for next turn. This is just opponent, or Planeswalker, right? Yeah. I would say they probably take the Tolsimir and hope to grind us out with hero. Melody's a sick draw. I think I like doing that instead of this Nissa. Oh wait, can we do both? No, we can't. Yeah. I think I like doing this, because if we take the hero, we take like our opponent's best thing to beat us. Which is just going wide. Hopefully they don't have another discard spell for this Nissa. Deputy. So they deputy that, and then if this deputy dies, they get it back. That was cool. That's actually sweet, right? That's how this works. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they get it back. But I'm not 100% sure.
I will protect the virtue of this world. Behold, nature's true power.
Yeah, they do get it back. Unfortunate, but I think we had to make that play. Another hero. Yikers. Oh, and they had the D-Spark. Jeez. And now, after talking about maybe adding a land, we're just gonna flood out. That's cool. I think we just have to get aggressive. I mean, they're at 8 now. But they have infinite jump blockers because they have hero. Yep. We're not out of this yet. If we draw a payoff, we're still in this. Or we just draw more lands. This is unfortunate. I think this is a really good matchup for us, too. But sometimes your opponent has, like, some of their best draws in their deck without tutoring it or without, you know, drawing or cantripping at all, and sometimes you just flood out. GG's opponent. Unfortunate. Just kind of drew 100 lands there for a second loss. Deck felt fine. So changes I would make after playing this league. I definitely want an extra land. I think, awkwardly enough, I want it to just be a Glacial Fortress. And I think I probably want it over one of these. And then I think a Teferi goes to the sideboard. For us to cut Tolsimir or Thorn Lieutenant? I'm thinking probably Thorn Lieutenant. And then this lets us go down to 2 incubation druids and then put back in 2 paradise. I don't know. I think this is where I'd end up after this league. I'm not sure. It definitely felt like we didn't have enough blue/white mana in the deck. But I think Paradise Druid could also help with that. And I feel like I'm never going to want all 4 of these. But it is good against mono red. I could even potentially see maybe only playing 2 and then having an extra in the sideboard. Or something along those lines. But I definitely think this card's good. I definitely think we needed some more ramp, so we'll try 1 piece. I definitely think we needed the 25th land. The Glacial Fortress, not great, but I think it's probably just the best land we can play. I don't know, let me hop over to lands really quick, actually. Let me leave all of our colors and stuff selected. See if there's maybe a better land we can play. As awkward as it is, I almost kind of want to play a Simic Guildgate over it. I'm trying to decide. All of our early plays are elves, actually. Yeah, all of our creatures are elves. I'm almost thinking about the unclaimed territory, actually. But it doesn't help cast any of our spells. Then is Simic Guildgate better than Glacial Fortress? We didn't really have any issues on white mana, so I think so. It sucks that the Guildgate's always going to come and play tapped, but I think it's just the next best land source we can play. Like, I think it's either that or an unclaimed territory. But unclaimed doesn't cast, like, our entrancings and our mass manipulations. So I think it's probably the Guildgate. Okay. Well, what did this do? Did this just, like, take a land out of our deck randomly? Oh, it really messed up our lands because I accidentally hit that. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is where I'd probably end up at the end of today. I don't know. We're going to keep testing it. I'm not set on this deck, but this deck does feel very powerful. So, with the end of that, we have one more thing before we end today. And that is La Giveaway. Ah, no, where'd you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? So, this is how we're going to do the giveaway. It's a random name picker. This is all of our followers as well as our subscribers and Patreons added in. But before we do this, because I got to keep you guys waiting a little bit longer and I want to make sure everybody stays, I want to hop over here and thank Mom Basement Games for being our sponsor. Make sure you check out their momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com for anytime you need any singles or any Magic product whatsoever. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, hopefully one of you guys were the giveaway winners. If not, sorry, good luck. Hopefully next month goes better for you. But you should also check down in that description box below for all of the links I'm going to talk about right now, as well as to tune into our Twitch sometimes. Everyone on YouTube and also on Twitch right now, make sure to give us a like on Facebook, a follow on Twitter at MomsBasementMTG, as well as you guys on Twitch right now, check out our YouTube channel for the best standard, modern, legacy, vintage, pauper, and commander content. And lastly, give me a follow on Twitter. My handle is at RichardTMTG. I talk about Magic, League of Legends, anything else you guys want to talk about, random memes. It's a really good time at my Twitter. Come and check me out. But I think I've had you guys wait long enough, so I'm going to pull back up the giveaway. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to roll it 3 times. That way, it can't just be like, oh, you know, it rolled that one person. So we're going to do this 3 times, so the first and second time isn't going to count. The third time is going to be the true box winner. So our first whirl is, not now, is 0cool4098. Congratulations on not winning the box, because that was roll number 1. We'll roll again. I don't know why this keeps popping up. Gator Frank 88, you are also not the winner of the box. I'm super sorry to you too. But we'll roll it for the 3rd time right now and see who the actual winner is. And it is T2G_brand. Congratulations. You are the winner of the War of the Spark booster box. Please get in contact with us, whisper us on Twitch, or contact us on any other form of social media to try to get your box. But all of you guys, better luck next month on our giveaways. And I will be your host of today, Richie T, also known as Richard T, signing off. Have a great night.